think the 2010s was a very defining moment for NBA fans and for basketball in general. I think that a lot of the things that you will see in place for hopefully the next 10, 15 years of the league started in last decade. But with all of that being said, I was sitting up one night and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? What are the best NBA finals of the last decade? What are the 10 best NBA finals of the 2010s? So, this is my list. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you don't agree with. Number 10, at my last spot, I have the 2017 finals. Warriors Cavs Part 3. I thought it was some good basketball. Kevin Durant put up crazy numbers. Steph Curry almost averaged a triple-double. LeBron put up crazy numbers. But I thought that finals was pretty much more so a foregone conclusion. There really wasn't much drama involved with it. Game 3 probably being the best game in which KD hit the shots, probably the best moment of that series. Good basketball, but again, not too much drama for me. So that comes in at my number 10 spot. Number 9 for me is the 2018 finals. The 2018 finals probably had, I would say, a top 5 most infamous sports moment of the last 10 years, with J.R. Smith forgetting to score in game 1, after which, honestly, for 48 minutes, LeBron probably played his best game that I've ever seen him play as a professional athlete. Also, Steph set an NBA Finals record for 3 in game 2. Game 3 was also extremely exciting. KD hit the shot he hit the year before in game 3. The Cavs ended up getting swept, but to me, the reason it's at number 9 was, to me, it encapsulated the end of an era. And, you know, you kind of knew when LeBron walked off the court dapping everybody up that was the last time that you were going to see that matchup in the NBA Finals. Next, coming in at number 8, I have the 2012 Finals. It was LeBron and the Heat getting their first ring together. It didn't come without a little bit of opposition. They lost game 1. Game 2, actually, late in the game, there was a questionable non-foul call that LeBron could have been called for on Kevin Durant. He actually would have fouled out that game. And it also, KD would have been at the line, potentially with a chance to tie the game and potentially go up 2-1 on the Heat. And who knows what happened. But after that, the Heat, after they lost game 1, they won game 2, went on to win four straight games. LeBron captures his first ring. Probably the best moment, the lasting image in my head from that finals is with LeBron with about a minute left in the game, jumping up and down, knowing that he's finally captured that elusive first championship. So at number 8, I have the 2012 finals. I have the 2014 finals at number 7 because that is still the greatest team basketball I think I have ever seen a team play. I am still mad at Patty Mills for all of the shots he did not miss in that final series. Also was the coming out party for Kawhi Leonard. I think he was still kind of under the radar until that finals. I think that kind of the lasting moment of that finals in my mind is kind of when Kawhi was checking into the game and LeBron looks back and realizes Kawhi's checking in, and he's like, damn, I gotta deal with Kawhi. Kawhi ended up taking home finals MVP. Tim Duncan got his 5th ring in that, and they got some vindication for the year before in which the Spurs lost in heartbreaking style to the Heat in 7 games. At number 6, I have the 2019 finals. I think that it encapsulated, 5 years of this Warriors run. You could see the attrition, that had caught up to the Warriors. They had injury concerns all over the court. I think the lasting moment maybe probably being more about the injuries than about the basketball, but I do think there was some great basketball played. Game 5 is honestly probably one of the best games I've ever seen. Just the wave of emotions, when KD goes down with the torn Achilles and Boogie, hops up and kind of, gives the Warriors a boost. Wow, I think everybody was still kind of shocked. And then, Kawhi going on that stretch late in the 4th, and you think Kawhi's just going to take the game over and, capture Toronto's first NBA title in Toronto. And then the Warriors go on that classic Warriors, play sequence that they win in back-to-back possessions and end up, taking that victory home. And going back to Oracle Game 6, Clay unfortunately gets hurt, but he was going crazy before he got hurt, and the Raptors end up winning Game 6 in Oracle. Steph misses a shot to give the Warriors the lead. The Raptors end up winning Game 6 in Oracle and shutting Oracle down, the historic Oracle Arena down, for the last time, and capturing their first NBA championship, the first NBA championship to go to a team that is not an American-based team. So at number 6, I have the 2019 finals. At number 5, I have the 2015 finals. It's another finals where I think injuries kind of overshadowed how good of a finals it was, but it was a good finals. I think that the first 2 games went into overtime. Kyrie had the broken kneecap late. Well, it was in overtime in Game 1. He broke his kneecap. Game 2 was another overtime game. Steph had a chance to give the Warriors the lead or tie the game. Late, he airballed a step back 2 in which Deli was guarding him. The Cavs ended up, going up 2-1. It looked like LeBron was about to defy the odds, basically all by himself for the most part. It's not what happened. You had the Deli situation in which people said Deli shut down Steph, and for 3 or 4 games, people have a point. They insert Iggy into the starting lineup after Game 3. Iggy goes in and gets you 20, ties the series up in Cleveland. Game 5, Steph for sure has his best game, quite possibly still his best finals game when you consider everything that was on the table. The Game 5, he scores 37 in Oracle. The lasting memory probably of that series and of that game probably is when he did whatever move he did to Deli and destroyed him. Turns to the camera, gives the camera that little face like, yeah, I'm a bad man. The Warriors go on, pull the series out in Game 6 in Cleveland, and give the Warriors and the Bay Area their first NBA title since Rick Barry in 1975. So at that point in time, it was in 30 years. So he gave them their first NBA title in 30 years. The 2015 finals come in at my number 5 slot. Number 4 is the 2010 finals. Lakers Celtics. It would turn out to be the late great Kobe Bryant's last finals appearance. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. It would turn out to be the Lakers' last finals appearance. Everything kind of went downhill for the Lakers from there. It was the end, kind of, sort of the end of. It was to me, that was also the end of an era of basketball. The Heat got created the next year. That was probably the best last chance to capture a ring. Didn't happen. Also, the Lakers kind of got some get back and kind of vindicated themselves for the way 2008 was handled, with them losing by however many points they lost by in Game 6 on the road in Boston. But I mean, Kobe, in my personal opinion, obviously statistically wise, it's not Kobe's best finals, but in my personal opinion, it's Kobe's best finals. When you just think about age at that point, I think at that point he's like 32 years old. He's at least 15 years in the league at that point. Boston, who you lost to in 2008. As a Laker, he was said himself, you cannot lose to the Celtics twice. So capturing that in a back-to-back at that age, I think he had a broken finger the whole year, injuries the whole year, playing through what he was playing through, the shots he had to hit, being guarded by Tony Allen most of the series, having KG and having Kendrick Perkins in the paint, dealing with all of that, with the defense of the Boston Celtics. I personally think that's Kobe Bryant's best series. And Game 7, classic game. Boston up 13 on the road, lose the lead in the fourth quarter. Ron Artest ends up hitting pretty much the game-clinching 3. Kobe Bryant, 24 points, 17 rebounds. Underrated part of that series, Kendrick Perkins did get hurt in Game 6. Who knows what happens if Big Perk does not go down in Game 6 and is able to play in Game 7. But, as I said, at number 4, the 2010 finals come in on my list as the 4th best finals of the decade. Number 3, 2011 finals. When you talk about drama, when you talk about drama from just when LeBron and Bosh join the Heat, they do the press conference, not 3, not 4, not 5. They get to the finals, everybody thinks it's a foregone conclusion. They're just gonna dog walk the Mavericks. Game 1 looks like that. Game 2 looks like it's like that. The Heat end up losing a 15-point lead. Dirk hits the go-away bucket. And the series changes from there. LeBron has the 8-point game, the inexplicable 8-point game in Game 4 that nobody will ever let LeBron forget, no matter what LeBron does. That inexplicable 8-point game in Game 4. You have, Obviously, the Mavericks go on to win the series. Bosh falls out, starts crying right after, in the tunnel after Game 6. Then the fallout from it. I don't know if you guys were on Twitter, but if you were on Twitter after the Heat lost in 2011, it was a special time. Even with, Mark Cuban having the trophy in Live, and even you saw it, Live had booked a reservation for Live a week in advance. But it was a crazy time. And yeah, just the combination of everything the Big Three had done that year, and for it to end that way, it was a crazy time. And again, like, if you were around during those times, if you were on Twitter, if you were around back then, if you were old enough to remember, it was crazy. It was wild. Number 2 is the 2013 finals. When you talk about drama, when you talk about back and forth, I think almost every game has a crazy memory. Manu played one of the worst finals I've ever seen a human being play in the 2013 finals. I mean, you talk about Tony Parker's, falling down, hitting the go-ahead bucket in Game 1. Game 2, the Heat come back, get the victory. Tiago Spinner gets his shot destroyed by LeBron James. Probably one of the moments of that series. Also, Danny Green, low-key, was Finals MVP damn near throughout the first 3 games of that series. He set the NBA Finals record for threes in only just 3 games. And obviously the classic Game 6, I don't need to get into it. The Heat are up. The Spurs are up by 5 late in the game. Ray Allen pops up. They take Tim Duncan off the court. Ray Allen pops up, hits the 3. They win the game in overtime. Game 7, also probably one of LeBron's best games that sometimes gets overshadowed because of what happened in Game 6. But all in all, the 2013 finals, if I remember just watching that live, I don't know how anxious I've been. I don't know if I've ever been more anxious than I was watching that final series. So at number 2 comes in the 2013 finals between the Heat and the Spurs are my number 2 finals of the 2010s. And number 1, we all know what it is, man. Warriors Cavs 2016, to come back from a 3-1 deficit. When you talk about drama, when you talk about sports, when you talk about inspiration, I think that comeback was everything that you want to see in sports. It was theater, it was drama, from the Draymond nut tap to being down Game 3, the image of LeBron with the headphones on and Klay Thompson saying it's a man's game, and LeBron laughing at Klay saying it's a man's game. And then Game 5, Kyrie and LeBron coming back out Oracle down 3-1 and putting on, in my humble opinion, the best duo performance, the best performance from any duo in finals history. Both going out there and dropping 41. Game 6, Steph getting frustrated, throwing his mouthpiece at the fan. And in Game 7, down at Oracle, 3-3 series for all the marbles. Right after halftime, it looks like the Warriors are going to go on a run. J.R. Smith hits those 2 threes back-to-back, kind of evens the game out a little bit. You get late in the fourth, no team scores for 4 minutes. You have the remember the meme of Steph Curry throwing the trophy out of bounds with the behind the back pass. You have JR also making one of the underrated plays in history. Even before the block, what was helped along by the block was JR getting in between Iggy and the ball just enough so that Iggy has to go for the reverse layup and slow down, and LeBron coming up with the block. Kyrie, obviously one of the biggest shots in NBA history. Kevin Love with one of the biggest stops in NBA history to cap off the 3-1 comeback in the NBA Finals against the best team of all time, regular season record-wise. That, to me, is the best finals of the decade. I know some people would say every game wasn't mad exciting, but I think all of those last 3 games were crazy exciting. It was full of drama. You have never seen anything like it. You may not ever see anything like it ever again. So yeah, that comes in at my number 1 on my list, and that is my list of the 10 best finals of the 2010s. If you agree, if you don't agree, drop a comment, let me know what your list would be. Let me know why my list is great. Let me know why my list is trash. Everybody out there, I pray that you stay safe. And until next time, talk to you guys.